secret of life is in matching the frequency. Very strange. When you match the frequency, you somehow cancel the effect of that frequency, because you are that frequency itself. So when you match it, you don't feel anymore the effect of that frequency. You and that frequency becomes one. That's the secret of the whole thing. And when you become one, you're free.
If I can obtain, for example, let's say there's a cancer tumor in a person's body. The cells in that cancerous tumor are now operating or vibrating at a specific resonant frequency. We know this for a fact. If I have a device that actually can match the frequency of that tumor, I can send a cancellation frequency to that tumor.
You're talking about a Rife machine.
Something like a Rife machine. I can destroy it without destroying the surrounding tissue, right? So imagine having the capability of now understanding on a more grand scale, a dimension, fifth dimension, like somebody there obtains the frequency of the third dimension. They can just come right on through. This could be some of the reason for paranormal activity and things like that. It could be entities or beings having a peek into our world, into our dimension. It might not be anything scary at all, you know, in some cases.
Sometimes people thought when you match with the frequency, you're somehow becoming similar with the other guy. Yes. But actually, in truth, there's a nullification. When you are similar to the other person, there is a nullification, because there is no beginning, no end. There is no conflict. When there is no conflict, there's no space-time, there's pure oneness. You enter suddenly into the one unity. It's a nullification effect. The reason why we exist is because there's a conflict. So if there's no conflict, everything ceases into that one source. It was a very fantastic idea, and the Roman empires, the army was actually trained to have the same frequency as a result of a drill. So because of that, the soldiers began to think alike with each other, and the captains as well. And we became one force. And that itself, the Roman Empire, the Roman soldiers was very strong. So they could invade and invade and invade, simply because of that one unity that they had. Was it good for the individual? No, it couldn't be. Because every man is an individual. And we were meant to be ourselves. And we have to live according to our goals and our intentions. So therefore we enter into the army and we become part of a group. It isn't really good, because that individual has lost his identity. But of course the whole army was strong. But then the individual may have been affected thereby. That's how I was affected when I was in the army. I lost my individuality. I walked according to the frequency of the army. But mine was totally different. Mine was a love frequency. But the military frequency was still killing. I didn't like that at all. The individual was lost out there. The matching of frequency is very good for the person himself. But if you use it in an army or state, it is not a good thing for the individual. But only today, I have a very significant discovery. I realized that I could match with my breath. My breath is the voice of God. The matching with the breath is a unity so deep and complete for the individual. It brought about love in me. I suddenly noticed that I was very forgiving. 2 hours ago, I was not happy with this guy. After I did the breathing, a very strange kind of breathing, but after I did the breathing, then I hear the voice of God. Suddenly felt loved for that person. I can't believe it. Not only that, I felt myself complete. When you match with the breath, when you have the frequency equal to the breath, you are before time, before light, before space. And therefore your unity with yourself is so complete that I am that I am. For many years I longed for the command of the voice. And today I heard the voice so near to me. And I stood before the voice, obeying the voice. And this was total satisfaction and total love for me. I was so near to myself. I thought that if you are naked and you are circumcised, you will feel a touch of yourself. Very true. But I realize today that being touched by your own breath, by your own voice, is even nearer. One day Jesus said, the Holy Spirit will come upon you, and He will teach of me, and He will bring wisdom to you, the knowledge of me. Jesus definitely was speaking in parables. The Holy Spirit is breath, and He will bring you into all truth, and He will speak of me.